Ray Carnicelli from Lax904. Just wanted to give you all an update. Hopefully, you had a chance to listen to Sunday's radio show. It was a fun show. We had a chance to catch up with Coach Galloway following the Marist game. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but you're going to want to listen to our post conversation with Coach Galloway. Coach Tom West of the Bowl School came on as well to preview this coming week. They had 3 games scheduled this week. And then Chris Milo and I went around Division One. We talked about some of the former players from our area who are playing in college, and then the high school scene is up and running. So it's a busy time. A few things that I've noticed this week. I had a chance last night to go out to Nice and watch Nice and Bowls, 2 very talented teams. Going into the game and on the radio show, I had mentioned that I thought Nice might have been the 3rd best team in the area. Bowls and Ponte Vedra, they don't play, so we'll never know for sure, but I'll give my opinions after seeing them play a few more times. But right now, 1 and 1A with Nice. After yesterday's game, I think they're a solid 3. It was 21-17 or something along those lines. Lots of goals. I was trying to keep track of the scores, and I did, but it wasn't easy. It was my first chance to see Dalen John Hill, number 66, the junior for Bowls, who's a JU commit. He had 8 goals and probably as many assists as well. Just very unselfish and talented. And Gavin Boree had, I think, 5 goals. There were goal scorers everywhere. On the Nice side, C.J. Miller and Miner had nice days. In Washington as well, Zane Washington, keep an eye on this kid. He's got some range, super athletic, fun to watch. It was up and down. I want to give some credit to Ethan Yar, the goalie for Nice. He got peppered. Probably, I'm guessing, 15, 16 saves, probably 5 or 6 pipes on top of the 21 goals. So that's a lot of shots on the cage. So Yar held up nicely under a lot of duress. But it was a fun game. Leading into this Thursday, I'll be calling on 1010XL Pope, one of the top teams in Georgia, over to Bowls. Bowls was without their starting goalie, Job. I believe he's going to be back on Thursday. Really excited to see Bowls back in action. It was a fun, exciting game. They move the ball around. Their passes are crisp, on target. Like I said, trying to keep track of the scores and the assists is next to impossible. So it's going to be a fun game. Make sure wherever you are, tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. to 1010XL via the app, the website. You can find it. Also on the high school scene, last week I had a chance to see Nice at Ponte Vedra in a game that Ponte Vedra won. Cannon Houseman, he's the real deal, shooting full speed with both hands, clearing the ball. He's a do-everything type of guy. And I had mentioned, Ponte Vedra, they look like they're in the preseason right now. Their shooting's not perfect. Transition, a lot of balls on the ground, but they are going to be a contender. Certainly Final Four for the big schools, and with a chance to win the state title as well. So far this season, I've seen St. Augustine, Fletcher, Ponte Vedra, Nice, and Bowls, and plans to go to a few more games this week when I can. But it's keeping me busy. The high school scene is a lot of fun to follow right now. Get on Max Preps, sort it by metro area, go to Jacksonville, and you can see all the scores, results, and schedule. And we'll continue to tweet out the games we're at and recap those as well on the radio show. So let's get back to the college scene a little bit with JU versus Marist. Just time to think about the game. It went pretty much as I expected. Probably a few more shots generated by Marist as a function of winning the faceoffs. But Luke Milliken, who won the ASUN Defensive Player of the Week, was outstanding. Not just saving the ball, which he had a lot of saves. I think he was 77%. And then Jason Yoquinto coming in on man down, and I think he was 75-76% at man down with 3 or 4 saves. Just really impressive. And you'll hear in my conversation with Coach Galloway that he wasn't thrilled with the number of shots that Marist was able to get, but the defense did a really nice job of putting those shooters in not great shooting positions. So Miller can make great saves, but they weren't the hardest challenging on the doorstep saves. So it's the type of day that goalies like. They get a lot of action. They get to get those save percentages and save numbers up without those point blank turn and rake type of chances. Dylan Watson had 4 goals, and a lot of people have been asking, where's Dylan Watson? Well, this is what happens when the middies emerge and when other options emerge. As I mentioned last week, that there would probably be some new goal scorers, first-time goal scorers for JU, and Nicky Brown and Gavin Angel both had their first goals. Galloway had 2 more on top of Watson's 4. So we're getting back to that pick your poison defense, whack-a-mole, who are you going to cover, who are you going to pull, and as soon as Max Waldbaum comes back, it's going to get even more difficult for the opponents to choose. But the offense looks good. They are creating mismatches, but it's that rope unit and the transition for JU that is so impressive. Wanovich with another goal. You know how much I love watching Garrity play, and Deacon was just punishing his opponents, de-sticking them, garage sailing them, just chasing them all over the field, and Tucker Denault. So they were out without Denninger, but that's a deep unit with Wanovich, Denault, Garrity, Deacon, and a few other guys mixing in there. And the LSMs are growing up as well. So goalie position solid. That close defense led by Heed, Hedinger, and Davis Smith look great. The midi depth is coming around. I asked Coach Galloway on the radio show, is Nicky Brown an attackman or a midi? Because the way he operates, you can't tell, and that's today's lacrosse, and he's a perfect fit for that, swing guy and being able to create havoc in front of the goal or behind the goal. We saw some zone defense out of Marist, and I think High Point coming up, I think we're going to see zone. So it'll be interesting to see how Jacksonville adjusts to that. One way to adjust to it is keep pushing that transition and don't allow the team to settle back in the 6-on-6 zone. So face-offs need to get a little bit better, but the attack is phenomenal. Intrieri and Greiner, they're stealthy, quiet, and the next thing you know, highlight real goals. And got 2 to 3 solid lines of midfielders right now. So all in all, I feel really good about where JU is right now. Excited to get up to Charlotte next week, so it's a bye week for JU. They can get healthy, and as Coach Galloway mentioned on the radio show, do some self-scouting as well. So while it'll be quiet on the JU front, everyone will be busy. I also had a chance to call Flagler College at hosting number 14, Florida Tech, on Saturday night. So I did the JU game, took what was left of my voice down to St. Augustine and called that game as well. Flagler had I think it was a 3-goal lead at halftime against the number 14 team in Division II. And it was a battle. Flagler just came out and was winning every contested ball, doing a nice job on the face-offs, making saves, and then they got shut out, I think 8-0 in the second half. And Florida Tech came away with the victory. They had a hot goalie, not just making easy saves. He was all over the place, making amazing saves. So, Flagler's got to be a little more poised. They've got to cut down on the turnovers, and I think they definitely will win more games than they did last year. They'll beat some teams that they lost to last year, and they're going to compete for their Peach Belt Conference title. So it'll be really looking forward to watching the development of Coach Duncan's boys down at Flagler College. Hard to keep up with all of it, but even like at Division I, just another crazy week. Jacksonville, depending on what poll you look at, anywhere from 14 to 18. I like Quint's poll just because he goes into detail about the logic behind it. So polls don't mean a whole lot, but I put the link to Quint's poll and what he has to say about Jacksonville. But I really feel like inside of the top 20, Virginia's amazing. Notre Dame's really, really good. We'll see about the Ivies and how good they are. But we know Duke and North Carolina and those ACC teams. It feels like inside of the top 20 on any given Saturday, Sunday, whatever day of the week they're playing, that it doesn't. Anybody can win. Like I said, Virginia may be a little bit of an outlier, and who knows how good Loyola really is. They look really good right now. But it's going to be a fun ride. Really looking forward to going up to Charlotte and watching the High Point game. A few of the guys around the NCAA from our area, Dobson up at Notre Dame had 2 more goals. Dylan Hess has been a little quiet at Georgetown, keeping an eye on him. He's probably ready to break free at any moment. Division One, also at Queens, they got their first win. They've got a bunch of local guys. Congratulations to Brendan Nace from Ponte Vedra, who had a hat trick in Queens' first win. Andrew Sledzik from Bulls had an assist in that game. And obviously here in Jacksonville, the work that Davis and Reed Smith are doing at Jacksonville, just so fun to watch. But there are so many guys playing and contributing in college right now. It's difficult to keep up, but we'll keep researching Division 1, 2, and 3 and keep an eye on these guys. So going to cut it off there. Got some real work to do today. Want to thank all of you who are friends of Lax904 who have contributed financially to help our efforts. We will continue to send you some bonus content. But until next time, I'm Ray Carnicelli. Have a great day.